So, hello everyone and welcome back to some more Dragon Age Origins. After indeed a long time since we last were playing this game.
What do you need?
I did not try to be starting to talk to you, but thank you. So, let's go and start to head on our way out of Lothringen. Finally. Took a while. Took just a small little teeny tiny bit of time. And yes, some lovely dreams we were having. Such a lovely, lovely dreams.
Bad dreams, huh?
It seems so goddamn real.
Well, it is real. Sort of. You see, part of being a Grey Warden is being able to hear the Darkspawn. That's what your dream was, hearing them. The Archdemon, it talks to the Horde, and we feel it just as they do. That's why we know this is really a blight.
The Archdemon, is that the dragon?
I don't know if it's really a dragon, but it sure looks like one. But yes, that's the Archdemon. It takes a bit, but eventually you can block the dreams out. Some of the older Grey Wardens say they can understand the Archdemon a bit, but I sure can't. Anyhow, when I heard you thrashing around, I thought I should tell you. It was scary at first for me too.
Well, thank you, Alistair. I do appreciate it.
That's what I'm here for. To deliver unpleasant news and witty one-liners.
Thanks.
Anyhow, you're up now, right? Let's pull up camp and get a move on.
Yeah, we should be starting to get a move on. But let me first and foremost talk to everyone and go and talk to the shopkeepers over there, because of course they, for some reason, came with us. I'm not exactly sure even why. I guess we could start with Liliana and then start to be heading around. Well, Ben should be talked to too. Let's see.
Yes?
Well, I would like to talk for a little bit.
Well, here I am.
Sure you are. So, this vision of yours, it doesn't really make sense to me.
I knew this would come up sooner or later. I don't know how to explain, but I had a dream. In it, there was an impenetrable darkness. It was so dense, so real. And there was a noise, a terrible, ungodly noise. I stood on a peak and watched as the darkness consumed everything. And when the storm swallowed the last of the sun's light, I fell, and the darkness drew me in.
So you dreamed of the Blight, I guess?
I suppose I did. That was what the darkness was, no? When I woke, I went to the Chantry's gardens, as I always do. But that day, the rosebush in the corner had flowered. Everyone knew that bush was dead. It was grey and twisted and gnarled, the ugliest thing you ever saw. But there it was, a single beautiful rose. It was as though the Maker stretched out his hand to say, even in the midst of this darkness, there is hope and beauty. Have faith.
Did you hear voices? And this is what made you want to help me?
In my dream, I fell, or maybe I jumped. I'd do anything to stop the Blight. I know that we can do it. There are so many good things in the Maker's world. How can I sit by while the Blight devours everything?
I suppose I couldn't sit by either if that sort of thing would happen. I don't really want to comment about the Maker because I don't believe into the Maker after all.
That is why you're a Grey Warden. Come, there's a Blight to stop.
I think I should have like one conversation pair camping. It seems like a good idea, or feels like the correct way to do things. Like have one talk with all of them or each one of them, and then shop per campaign trip. Not go and try to talk about everything at once, but just like every once in a
What do you
while.
wish of me?
I'd like to ask you something.
If you must.
So, did you grow up in the Korkari wilds?
Why do you ask me such questions? I do not probe you for pointless information, do I?
Well, I'm just curious. What's wrong with that?
Any number of cats could inform you of the answer to that question, but have it your way. What is it you asked if I grew up in the wilds? A curious question. Where else would you picture me? For many years it was simply Flemeth and I. The wilds and its creatures were more real to me than Flemeth's tales of the world of man. In time I grew curious. I left the wilds to explore what lay beyond, never for long. Brief forays into a civilized wilderness.
But you then just kept going back to the wilds.
Would you not do the same? Your world is an unforgiving and cold place. The wilds I hail from is home to me, and I a natural denizen. For all that I had been taught, however, the truth of the civilized lands proved to be overwhelming. I was unfamiliar with so much. So confident and bold was I, yet there was much that Flemeth could never have prepared me for.
I can just imagine.
I rather doubt that. Only once was I accused of being a witch of the wilds, and that by a chastened who happened to be travelling with a merchant caravan. He pointed and gasped and began shouting in his strange language, and most assumed he was casting some curse upon me. I acted the terrified girl, and naturally, he was arrested.
Poor guy. What happened to the poor man?
Who cares? As I recall, he was executed. The point being that I was able to move through human lands fairly easily. Whatever humans think a witch of the wild looks like, 'tis not I. Not that I did not have trouble. There are things about human society which have always puzzled me, such as the touching. Why all the touching for a simple greeting?
I kinda agree with that. I have no idea. I'm not a human.
Do not speak to me of trivialities. Your culture is not so entirely different.
Well, the
there were
tough
many
culture
nuances
is
that
kinda...
Flemeth could never tell me of. When to look into another's eyes. How to eat at a table. How to bargain without offending. None of these things I knew. I still do not understand it all, truth be told, but then I gave up long ago any hope of doing so. When I returned to the wilds last, I swore to Flemeth that I had no intention of leaving again.
But maybe, yeah, if I was actually more civilized than I am, as in actually would have been in nobility or something, but I'm not, so... I don't know nearly as much as you might guess I would, I'd say, personally. Yet here you are.
Yes, here I am. Well, let's get on with it before the ground opens up and swallows us, yes?
Yes, sirrees. And Morrigan disapproves, of course, like always, almost with me. Oh well. So she must.
Ah, it's good to see you, my timely rescuer. Bodon Feddick, at your service, once again. I saw your camp and thought to myself, what safer place to rest for the evening than in the camp of a Grey Warden? I'm perfectly willing to offer you a fine discount for the inconvenience of our presence. How does that sound? Good? Yes?
You're free to stay, just mind yourself.
Wonderful. Thank the kind lady, won't you, boy?
Thank you, kind lady.
We won't be a bother to you and your companions, I assure you. If you should need enchantments, simply talk to my boy. Otherwise, come speak with me.
Enchantments, you say?
Hello.
The boy's a bit simple, but he's rather good with enchantments. One of those tranquil fellas actually called him what was it now? A savant. I had no idea such a thing existed.
What enchantments does he do?
He can fold lyrium into almost any weapon or piece of armor, though naturally some of the more extravagant materials will take more lyrium than others. It's a process that some of the master smiths back in Orzammar will perform, but my boy here is just as adept at it. Isn't that right, boy?
Enchantment!
And there you have it.
He does enjoy enchantment. But after all, it's not like I can really do much enchantment yet, so I'd like to see your other goods.
Oh, certainly, I can do that for you. Just come with me.
Let's see, what would we like to buy? Now that's a great question. Definitely not any of these sort of things that are ridiculously expensive, but didn't you have a backpack? You do, but you do not sell it for that cheap. I would like to get a backpack though, from you. Bought, certainly. So what would I like to sell? When thrown this wax plus is acid, and when thrown this wax plus is soul rot acid. This does not seem to have actually friendly fire. That's kind of surprising. Let's just sell 2 of those. That's fine. Hints awareness. Some of these goods I don't want to sell because we might be making something of them anyways. At least I do have a couple of these, I guess, that I could sell. Did I give all the good enough of a gear for our like Sten? I guess he has okay enough of gear. He doesn't have any of these sort of things, but otherwise, yeah.
If there's anything I can do for you, please tell me.
Just let me see those still. I guess I could be trying to do this though while we're talking to him. I'm kind of like wondering, should I go talk Morrigan and Liliana some more? It's so difficult to choose sometimes. Maybe one more time. Maybe twice. So, anyways, what is your story exactly?
I suppose since you told me about you being a Grey Warden, it's only fitting for me to be as open. I'm originally from Orzammar, just as you are, I suspect. You don't have the look of a surface dwarf about you. I was a merchant there, too. Merchant caste. These things are in the blood, you know. You can't just leave them behind. I ran a fairly successful business. Rare artifacts, you know. Old things, grand things. The nobles loved them. Reminded them of the lost glory days, I suppose.
So it goes. Our glory isn't lost. Go on.
So, as I said, things were going well. But good things must come to an end. One day, a noble woman came to my store. She looked around for a bit and then started shrieking in dismay. Apparently, she believed that a pair of braces I had for sale once belonged to her brother. He'd been lost in a cave-in, you see, while on an expedition to clear out the Darkspawn from one of the tunnels running close to the city. They were made specially for him. They're unique, she shrieked. He stole them from my poor brother's corpse. She had me arrested on the spot, of course. Nobles, they're touchy like that.
Nobles are like that, yeah. Tell me about it. Like, really?
Ah, yes, your brand. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yes.
Anyway, the woman, as I said, accused me of stealing the braces. Well, I didn't steal them. You see, I'd been paying these castless thugs to venture out into the deep roads for me.
A little
The
bit like
lost
me, eh?
tigers. They're full of things that people left behind. Sometimes you can find a treasure. Something worth a little gold.
Well, it's kind of better to do something with them than to leave them to rot after all, isn't it?
That's exactly how I see it. The noblewoman, she wasn't too happy with the theft of her brother's braces. I don't know what they planned for me, and I didn't want to find out. Bribed
Yeah.
the guard that was watching me and took off for the surface first opportunity I got. Never looked back.
That is good to hear that you were able to make it out. Well, I can see that you made it out, but still. Fascinating story. Thank you. It's nice to have someone else who used to live in Orzammar and isn't there no more.
You're quite welcome. Now, Is there anything the boy or I can get you?
Let's see. Have you heard any rumors, by the way?
With King Kaelin dead, the throne falls to Queen Honora. She's made her father the regent, however, at least for now. I think Kaelin's father, old King Merrick, would have approved. That's what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
I shall take it for what it is. So, but where do these goods come from, by the way? Not the deep roads, I assume?
Look, we don't rob people, all right? We don't take things from people that need them. The things in the Lost Tigers, what good did they do lying there?
I know,
I brought them back to Orzammar, where people could look at them and remember. It's not all that different up here. There are places long abandoned by the humans everywhere. Even more now with the Darkspawn coming.
Yes, I do agree. What do you mean? I don't want to be saying you opportunistic scoundrel.
People flee from the Blight with good reason, but they forget things. Things with value and meaning. They leave them behind because they're frightened and desperate. And sometimes, my boy and I, we find our way to these places before the Horde descends, and we save these things. I take them away so the Darkspawn don't get them. It's not so bad. They destroy everything they touch.
I suppose it's better than having the Darkspawn take it all.
That's what I tell myself, too. Ah, these are dark times indeed. Dark times, my friend.
Agreed. By the way, you didn't mention your son in your tale.
Ah, yes. I'm married to a fine woman back in Denerim, it's true. She'd give me a son if she could, but that's not likely to ever be. Sandal here. I found him in the deep roads years ago. Abandoned, I think, and he was never quite right in the head. I took him in, and I brought him with me when I came here to the surface. It may not be my blood, true, but I think of him as one.
We left Orzammar.
That's right, boy. Maybe one day we'll see it again.
Maybe one day. Maybe I will see Orzammar one day again too. But isn't always that important. Depends, of course. Of course, my sister is important to me, but still, it's not always the most important thing.
That's how I've always felt. As long as he's happy, so am I. It's not as if I don't benefit, mind you. Turns out the boy's a natural working with enchantments. He might have even been lyrium-addled. I never thought of that before, to be honest. Happens sometimes. He can work an enchantment into just about anything, however, given some time. Could probably open his own shop, if he knew how.
Enchantment.
Well, he does seem to enjoy it, at least.
He does seem to be doing so. So, can you tell me one more rumor?
There's not just Darkspawn in the Horde, you know that? There are people with him. Folks who are sick with the Blight, and their minds are all twisted and mad. I heard tell of a man meeting his own brother on the field, yet when he called out to him, his brother didn't even recognize him and just attacked.
Oh,
That's
dear.
what I've heard on the road, anyhow. Take it for what it is.
Let me see your wares, Bodam.
I'm sure you'll be pleased with the goods my boy and I have collected, and with your discount.
Thank you. Let me sell you stuff so that maybe I can buy the thing that I really want to buy. Because I would really like to buy this backpack. For logical reasons. I don't want to sell indeed that which is way too expensive. I kind of wish that I did have it in my freaking inventory. But can't exactly be helped. Sell. I said sell. Tried to say sell anyways. Yeah. I'm pretty sure this is okay to sell mostly. These, I don't remember if those would be something I should sell or not. Well, the silver rings I can at least sell, for sure. I need to be looking sometimes like, am I doing the right thing? Should I be selling these things? I'm not exactly sure why I would be keeping just clothing. That's a gift. A couple of novice runes of different things and journeyman runes. But not the most essential thing to be doing right away. I can sell these at least. It's not like they are used for anything important. And then those are the lightning crystals. arrows of different kind. Not that I'm planning to exactly be using arrows, but maybe at some point. I doubt. Well, I guess someone might be using that, like either Alistair or indeed Sten at the moment might be using it, but not exactly certain. And of course, when these are anyways have special names, it's a little bit strange idea to be selling them. I can sell that at least. Don't want to be using those special weapons that I haven't gained for myself. Butterfly sword gift. I don't remember ever seeing that previously. I guess that must be something new. A pearly white cone of unknown material attached to a dog collar. It looks like it would be uncomfortable to wear. All sort of stuff here as possible gifts. Grey Warden's hand puppet. I definitely haven't had some of this stuff in here. Stick definitely yes, but let's take a stick at least. Alistair's doll. Specifically named Alistair's doll. I wonder who should be getting that one. Sugar cakes. I definitely, when I played this, there wasn't these sort of things. Rotten onion as a gift? Uncrunchable pigeon? No force could ever crush it. That's very strange. Backpack. I want that backpack. I don't recall if this was the only way to get these certain ones, like the Ranger or Templar specializations by just buying it. Might have been, but I'm not entirely sure. It's been a bit too long since I played this in that sense. Stamina regeneration. I don't even have a belt, of course, so that wouldn't be bad to have, certainly. And of course, then there's some stuff that is just incredibly expensive. No way to even remotely think of buying those. Let's buy these few health potions. Won't be a bad idea. Let's just buy these two. I'm sure we'll be running out of them at some point. Otherwise, let's just go and have at least one more shot while we are here nonetheless. Or could I?
What do you wish of me?
Just need to press the different button. Ask you something more.
If you must.
Have you ever been hunted by the Chantry?
My mother has been hunted from time to time, yes, by Templar fools like Alistair, which should tell you how successful they generally were. Flemeth made a bit of a game of it, in fact. The Templars would come again, and she would look at me and smile and say that the fun was to begin once more.
I kinda do feel sorry for the Templars, but... So you really had no trouble with them?
I am unsure. I was too young to understand, and perhaps 'twas bravado on Flemeth's part, or perhaps she was merely amused. I will never know. Flemeth would warn them, once. 'Twas a warning they inevitably failed to heed. And then the true game began. Often Flemeth would use me as bait. A little girl to scream and run and lure the Templars deeper into the wilds and to their doom.
Flemeth used you as a bait?
'Twas a game, and I a young girl. If I didn't get to play, I would have been very upset. Thankfully, the wilds is a vast place. Once they found us, Flemeth would simply move us elsewhere, and we would be lost within the forest once again. I did not understand the danger we faced until I was much older. I had never heard of apostates or maleficarum.
What exactly is an apostate, even?
You do not know? The Zealots use that word for any magic they do not control. The Chantry sees any mages not leashed to the Circle of Magi as apostates, and apostates could become maleficarum, evil mages that resort to blood magic and become demon-enslaved abominations. It may even be true. Still, those of us who prefer freedom see no reason to submit.
No reason to submit. If I were a mage, I might think the same, which is true. Like, yeah, having to just live there doesn't seem like something I would want to do, certainly. As always in one tower.
Thank you for small favors, then, at the very least. Enough of this talk. Let us return to the task at hand.
Well, just
What do
talk
you
one
wish of
more
me?
at least time about something.
If you must.
So, how did you become a shape changer?
I was not born such. 'Tis a skill of Flemeth's, taught over many years in the wilds. The chastened have tales of we witches, saying that we assume the forms of creatures to watch them from hiding. When a child is alone and separate from his tribe, that is when we strike, dragging the young boy kicking and screaming to our lair to be devoured. A most amusing legend.
I'm sure. So your mother has definitely been doing this for a long time then.
Changing her form, certainly. Devouring lost children, I cannot say. She has not done it in my experience, though in truth my lifespan is but a fraction of her own. Why do you ask? Is there something specific you wish to know?
Let's see. Do you spend a lot of time as an animal?
There were nights when the wilds called to me, 'tis true. You look upon the world around you and you think you know it well. I have smelled it as a wolf, listened as a cat, prowled shadows that you never dreamed existed. But my life is as a human. I am under no illusions to the contrary.
And what do other animals think of you when you're changed?
They do not shy away from me. To their senses, I believe I seem like any other of their species. As to what they think, I truly cannot say. Just as I am still human, no matter my form, they are still animals. Thus they cannot speak, even were I to ask.
So what about, can you change into other human forms as well?
The form of an animal is different from my own. One may study the creature, learn to move as it does, think as it does. In time, this allows one to become as it is. I gain nothing by studying another human. I already am the same as they are. I learn nothing. So the answer is no, my human form is the only one I possess.
I've never heard of magics like that before.
No? 'Tis not unheard of in the remote corners of the world. There are traditions of magic outside of the circle of magi, despite what those mages would have you believe. Some of these traditions are old, indeed, passed down as carefully guarded lore from one generation to the next. The zealots of the chantry would uproot all such practitioners if they could. But as luck have it, some still exist. My mother is such a one.
So by practitioners you mean apostates, don't you?
Not all apostates use the forbidden blood arts. Maleficarum do, but condemn all who do not fall under the circle's thrall for the sake of what might be is a dangerous path to walk. There are those who look on the word apostate as meaning freedom.
So can anyone become a shade changer? Well, any
Anyone
mage.
with sufficient will. But the act of transformation is a magical one. 'Tis a spell and thus requires a mage's talents. If you had a notion to learn such a skill for yourself, sadly, you must remain disappointed.
Well, that's all I wanted to ask. Thank you for the information.
Indeed. Have you an opinion on my abilities, then? Am I an unnatural abomination to be put to the torch?
I don't even know that much about the mages or magic, to be honest, so... That would just make you angry, I think. Yes, very clever. I think your abilities sound quite useful. The abilities definitely do, like being able to change chains, and would be interesting.
A most practical opinion. Far more so than any man I have spoken to. But enough of such talk. Let us proceed, lest the dust gather on us.
I could have said that that would make you just angry, but one or the other. I think, well, she does still manage to talk well, so in that sense, but at least some talk's done with Morrigan. Let's talk then some more to Liliana, then to Sten and all that.
Yes?
Talk.
Well, here I am.
Sure you are. So, what was life like in the Chantry Cloister?
Quiet. It was a life suited for contemplation. In the cloister, away from the fuss and the flurry of the cities, I found peace. And in that stillness, I could hear the Maker. But it was not perfect. Some of my Chantry fellows were condescending. That is the nature of religious folk, I suppose.
Sounds like it. Condescending, how so? Of course, I don't know of the human religion much, so it's interesting to hear. I know only about the traditions.
When I talked about my beliefs, that the Maker reveals himself in the beauty of his world, they treated me with disdain. They want to believe that he's gone, so that when he turns his gaze on them, it means they are special, chosen. He cannot possibly have love for all, the sick and the weary, the beggars and the fools.
What did you say to them?
What can I say to them? What they believe is what the Chantry says, and the Chantry is infallible, yes? Maybe I am wrong. But it is the Maker's place to decide if I am worthy, not men, not the Chantry. But there is work to be done, and I have talked enough for now.
But yeah, I won't be having a lot of opinions about the Chantry, at least at this point, so...
Yes?
More about learning about it.
Well, here I am.
So, what would someone like you be doing in the Lotharing Chantry?
What is meant by someone like me?
So nice things to say. Well, they don't teach you how to fight in the cloister, do they? And I can recognize at least that she has some similar abilities as I do.
Did you think I was always a cloistered sister? The Chantry provides succor and safe harbor to all who seek it. I chose to stay and become affirmed.
What do you mean, affirmed?
We affirm our belief in the Maker, in Andraste and the chant, but other than that, there are no vows taken.
So what did you do before that?
I was a traveling minstrel in Orlais. Tales and songs were my life. I performed, and they rewarded me with applause and coin. And my skill in battle? Well, you pick up different skills when you travel, yes? Yes, of course. Let's move on.
I guess you didn't want to talk too much more about that. I guess understand that. I guess that's enough about the Chantry specifically. So Sten, hello. Oh yeah, and you are someone in the, I guess, DLC related, because I don't recall you ever being here when I was around here. I wonder if I should be talking to you yet.
Why are we stopping?
Well, we are working together now, so I think I should get to know you a little bit.
There are Darkspawn to be fought. Is this delay needful?
Well, are you all right? You were engaged for weeks, you know.
You are concerned. No need. I am fit enough to fight.
So, I've definitely never seen a Quanari before. Tell me about your people.
No.
Please. Please?
People are not simple. They cannot be summarized for easy reference in the manner of... The elves are a lithe, pointy-eared people who excel at poverty.
Excel at poverty. You said you were in the army, right?
I am.
What made you decide to become a soldier?
Decide. I am a Sten of the Beresad. I did not choose to be who I am any more than you did.
Sure. So have you fought in any wars?
I have always fought in war, dwarf.
So you must know your way around the battlefield then.
Some of them. They aren't all alike.
So are you always this bad at answering questions?
Generally. I do not see how this matters. Seheron and Parvolan are distant. Ferelden and the Darkspawn are immediate.
That is true. What's your hurry, though?
What a strange language you speak. You say hurry where I would say duty.
Well, it's not your duty to handle the Blight, though. Definitely not, of course, because it's the Warden's duty.
No, it is yours, and you are chatting with me instead.
Well, I guess we should be then moving on.
As you wish.
I would like to ask one more, though, question.
Yes,
I have a question.
I am hardly surprised.
Yes. Why did you come to Ferelden? That would be interesting to know.
To answer a question.
Aha. You came all this way for that.
For someone so dismissive of questions, you ask a great many.
Well, I wasn't dismissive of it, but it's surprising that you came all this way for that, just that. So, what was the question?
The Arishok asked what is the Blight. By his curiosity, I am now here.
Ah, well, it makes sense that you would then come into here to check it if there is going to be a Blight coming into here. What is an Arishok?
The one who commands the Antam, the body of the Kunari.
So he's like your king?
Kunari have no kings.
What do you have then?
Little patience for endless questions.
I'm sorry. So you have to report back then?
Yes,
When are you going to do that?
never. I cannot go home.
Why not?
It doesn't matter now. Can we move on? We keep the Darkspawn waiting.
Well, can I still ask one more thing? Like, what were you exactly doing in that cage?
Sitting, as you observed.
Yes, well, that's not exactly what I meant.
It's what you asked.
You're impossible. Just tell me, please.
I did. Parshera. Was there anything else?
I wanted to discuss something you mentioned.
Speak then.
Well,
Then I suggest we move on.
I guess it's enough for now.
As you wish.
Let's go, Sten. Sten is a bruise, -6. I asked too many questions. Docky, our little Ben.
Oh, why, you little...
What's going on?
Your furry friend here took offense at me getting near his food. He snapped at me, look.
Well, he's a war dog. Well, I don't really know much of them, but there's hardly any blood drawn still. I guess he shouldn't have. Aw.
Sometimes I forget that he's a war dog. That'll teach me.
Yes.
I once heard a really old legend about how the Hound Warriors in the days of the old tribes would feed their Mabari the flesh of the vanquished. Well, that's what I heard anyway. It would sometimes be human flesh.
That weirdly, like, stopped there.
Oh, like you can tell the difference. For all you know, maybe you've already been fed something. Someone.
Aw, poor Ben. Why are you teasing my dog? Well, I'd never feed you another human being, okay?
It's not cannibalism if he's eating it, you know.
Maybe not, but I don't think he wanted to eat that sort of thing. Okay, Alistair, let's talk then with you.
What do you need?
Would you want to talk about Duncan?
You don't have to do that. I know you didn't know him as long as I did.
That doesn't matter. that doesn't mean I don't mourn his loss.
I should have handled it better. Duncan warned me right from the beginning that this could happen. Any of us could die in battle. I shouldn't have lost it, not when so much is riding on us, not with the Blight and everything. I'm sorry.
No harm done, Alistair.
I'd like to have a proper funeral for him. Maybe once this is all done, if we're still alive. I don't think he had any family to speak of.
Well, he at least had you.
I suppose he did. It probably sounds stupid, but part of me wishes I was with him, in the battle. I feel like I abandoned him.
Well, you were following your orders. Well, he saved your life by sending you to the tower.
Yes, I know. I think he came from High Ever, or so he said. Maybe I'll go up there sometime. See about putting up something in his honor. I don't know. Dwarves don't practice cremation, do they? How do your people honor your dead?
Well, of course, this is definitely also true, but I prefer to answer. We entomb our dead within the stone beneath our takes.
I heard about that, now that I think about it. Their spirits return to the rock, strengthening the foundation of the Tig. It sounds so strange.
No stranger than burning your honored dead to ashes.
I suppose you're right. Thank you. Really, I mean it. It was good to talk about it, at least a little.
And that's, you're very welcome. Anytime, Alistair. Anytime. Let's see if there's anything
What do
else
you
to
need?
discuss. I'd like to ask you something.
Ask away.
Well, what can the Templars do exactly?
Essentially, they're trained to fight. The Chantry would tell you that the Templars exist simply to defend. But don't let them fool you. They're an army. The other main purpose for a Templar is, of course, to hunt mages. To that end, we train in talents that drain mana and disrupt spells.
So Templars kind of use magic themselves?
You could call it that, sure. The Chantry doesn't look on it the same way, however, since really our talents only work on mages. Against a regular person, I'm just a guy in a metal suit.
Have you hunted any mages? Or many mages even?
No, I never actually became a full Templar. Duncan recruited me before I took my vows. I was only present during one harrowing. The ritual that they test the mages with. It's not unlike our joining, really. And just as deadly. The girl they tested, she had a demon put inside her to see if she could resist. And she couldn't. We had to end it quickly. I have to say I didn't have much interest in becoming a Templar after that.
It's understandable. So could others learn these sort of talents?
Perhaps, but there usually isn't much of an opportunity. The Chantry keeps a close rein on its Templars. We are given lyrium to help develop our magical talents, you see. Which means we become addicted. And since the Chantry controls the lyrium trade with the dwarves, well, I'm sure you can put two and two together.
So you were addicted to this lyrium?
Thankfully, no. You only start receiving lyrium once you've taken your vows. You don't need lyrium in order to learn the Templar talents. Lyrium just makes Templars' talents more effective. Or so I was told. Maybe it doesn't even do that. The Chantry usually doesn't let their Templars get away either, so they can spread their secrets. I'm a bit of an exception. Lucky me.
Lucky you indeed. Lucky you indeed. Alrighty. That's a lot of shots. Done. completed. Let's see about this guy, though I definitely can't really go into DLC areas yet, but hello, Levi Trident.
You're a hard woman to find. Where are my manners? The name is Levi Dryden. Did Duncan ever mention me? Levi of the Coins? Levi the Trader?
Definitely not to me. I'm Ruska, I've never heard of you.
Really? He never told you of old Levi? We've known each other for years. But here I am carrying on while you have a blight to stop. Don't want to waste your time. But you see, Duncan promised that together we'd look into something important for the Wardens. And for me. But poor Duncan's... well, no more. A tragedy it is, at that. But I know he would want his work carried on. His pledge fulfilled.
So what sort of promise did Duncan make to you?
My family, well, past a bit checkered to see. Nobles look at us with disdain. My great-great-grandmother, Sophia Dryden, was the last Warden commander of Ferelden back when the Wardens were known as freeloaders. So King Arland banished the Wardens, and he took House Dryden's land and titles.
What happened next?
Hard to say. After King Arland died, there was a civil war, loads worse than this one. And our family was on the run, hunted by enemies, with nary a friend in the world. But Drydens are tough. We rebuilt, became merchants, and we never lost our pride.
So what favor did you exactly ask of Duncan?
I asked for the truth. My family reveres Sophia Dryden. We know she died at the old Grey Warden base, Soldier's Peak. We want evidence to clear her name. It won't restore our land or our titles, but it'll restore our honour.
I've never even heard of Soldier's Peak.
Well, no one's been to Soldier's Peak since Arland's days. At least none that's come back. I spent years mapping the maze of tunnels to the peak, and I found the way a few years back. So I went to Duncan, I did, and I said that he could reclaim the old base and my family could have its honour.
How will reclaiming the peak help the Wardens?
Soldier's Peak is strategic and symbolic importance. Duncan said that it would be worth it right there. He also hoped to recover lost Warden history and perhaps a few old relics. No one knows what's up there now.
Why didn't Duncan then help you?
Darkspawn surfaced in southern Ferelden, and Duncan got plenty busy recruiting new Wardens and meeting with good King Cailan. Duncan said he would help after the Battle of Ostagar. Said there might be useful things at the peak, but he never had the chance.
So, what do you exactly need from me?
I can pick my way through the tunnels at the base of Soldier's Peak, but the place, well, they say it's haunted, and it'll be dangerous for certain. Will you think on it at least?
I'll think about it. I won't definitely go there yet, so just to be on the sure side, I won't say yes yet. So, there will be such a quest for us in the future, but not yet. Definitely not yet. So hey, that was a long camping session. That will be about this for that episode, everything for this episode. Nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I shall see you next time when we actually decide to be heading onwards from here, rather than just chatting to everyone in the camp. So, hey, thank you for watching, and I shall see you for more next time. Bye bye till then. To be continued with Kidarusha next time in Dragon Age.